Morning, art buddies. Let's see if I have any company. Oh, there, I've got some company. Good morning, and welcome to my channel, Bricolage with Pink Girly. And we're gonna kind of revisit something I was doing a few days ago. Good morning, Joyce. Not sure how that's gonna go. Hello, Nicole. Good morning. Welcome in. Welcome in. So this is probably going to get a little messy. My fingers might get a little discolored. But a few days ago, 3 days actually, so I guess it was Sunday during my Sunday live, I was working on this little board book, a children's book, and put down some digitals that I had printed. And then I started to messing around with some cellophane tape and alcohol inks and decided to add them to this page, a little piece to the front. And then I had a happy accident. Good morning, Debbie. And this happened. I was showing how to make Tinkle tape. And then this got hit with a little color from another tape that I had here. And I kind of like the way that looked. Now, I've promised this to someone, Cindy Daly. I'm not sure if she sent me her mailing information. So I have to keep an eye to see if she pops in today. So I left this one. This is release paper. And if you don't know what that is, that's paper that, kids get stickers on, or we get labels, and it's got that shiny, smooth, silky, so you can peel your stickers off real easy. So I was putting my tape on acetate, and it didn't work very well. So Peggy Fitzmaurice, who is occasionally, well, not occasionally, she's quite often here with me. She's one of my mods, and she is a wealth of information. And she said, where you should use the release paper. So I started to save my release paper. And so this tape peels off very nicely, and you still have quite a bit of your stick left. So then I started to, mess around with other tape. It's just packing tape, and just when I was a kid, we used to call this Scotch tape, because that was the brand everybody bought. But it's really transparent tape, like a cellophane. I call it a cellophane tape. I'm not sure if that's accurate. So I have my little project bag here. I prepped some release paper so that I could just, start playing with my inks. Now I have quite a few inks here, and this is because my dear friend Peggy Fitzmaurice gifted me most of this ink. I had a few, but she was purging, and I am the happy recipient of those inks. Now, I'm pretty sure you can use these on your jelly plate too, but I did not. Hey, Jenny Roberts Day, I should say. Nice to see you. Jenny, I need more information from you for my book. I decided I'm going to work on the book, which is a collection of all my Art Buddy friends on Tuesday evenings. And I have some missing information for you. Jenny, do you have a channel? Maybe I could leave you a message. Or what is a good way for me to get a hold of you? I'd like to add information to your page, if you don't mind. All right, so I'm just pulling out some of this is stuff I've prepped for this morning. And I guess these are all my preps here. I'm going to put them right in front of me. I have my little project bag. So I'm going to show you what I've been playing with and what some of the results are, and then we're going to do it this morning. Good morning, Vale. And I'm going to hopefully get suggestions from you gals as far as color combinations and what you might like to see and how this has been working. So here's one. I'm just going to go through now. I bought some release paper like for a kid's sticker book. So this is released on both sides, which is nice. Yes, these are all alcohol inks. So here's this one. Now, a lot of these I don't remember what I put on them. Now, this is just the original idea, what I call tinkle tape. It's supposed to replicate or look like old tape that you would find on an old page in a book or, maybe an old document or something. And it's just had time to get yellowed. So, but we can recreate this. So I'll do a couple of those to show you. For some of you may not have been with us on Sunday. Here's another one. I have this one in a cellophane bag. And then I played around with some gold ink that I have. Now, I did order, and it's not going to be here for a little while yet, a silver and another gold. But I do have just gold. But I think you can see that through the cello pretty well. But how cool is that, right? Then this one. This is just one-sided. Now, this is packing tape, so you've got a wider landscape here to work with. Now, I thought I had some paper tape that I just purchased. There's a gal by the name of, I don't really know her real name, Jacqueline would know it, but she just ran a free thing called BB Bash. And so one of the things in setting up for that event of hers, she mentioned a paper tape. So I just ordered some of that. So this is just, like a craft paper tape. And it's wide like your packing tape. So the alcohol ink really does not move as well on this because it's paper and it sucks it in. Or the cellophane or the scotch tape, it moves around and you can put air on it and blow it around and get some different things going on. But I tried it on that. So I think it's a different look, but I think it looks cool. I think it would look cool hey, Ange, it would look cool in a journal. So here's some more. I'm just going to just shoot through these to show you what I've been playing around with. Okay, now the rest of these, I guess, are blanks. So I decided once I was working on these and the background release paper gets all cruddied up, I took them off and put them on these clean sheets of release paper. So it's a little more attractive to look at. So get your thinking caps on, get some ideas of colors. Now, of course, I don't have every color, but I've got quite a few, you see, and a lot of varieties in greens and whatnot. So blues, teals, I've got some reds, a few pinks, a few purple. I don't have too much in the way of purple. Now, all of these are my, I'll show you the labels in a minute here. Let me just put these back in my little storage bag and find a spot to put those. And I'm going to put this away. This is so you can use them. You can use them on regular journal pages as well. You could use them in a mixed media, a collage piece. Here I used it in this little board book, a children's little story book, to just do some art and some collage. So, yes, Jenny, get them out. So now I have a few other things here. I've got some pipets. I say pipet, maybe it's pipette, I don't know. Where it's like an eyedropper, basically. You can use an eyedropper. Got a few of those here. And this is a Tim Holtz product where you can put a marker, like a paint marker in here, and spray your ink and spatter on a page or a project. But I'm just using it to move the ink around. This is like a billow, or like a thing you would do on your fireplace, to give your wood some air and make the flames, you know what I mean? If you have any questions for me this morning, put them in caps. Now, my chat doesn't usually roll pretty quickly, so if you put it in caps, it's easy for my eye to pick that up. If I have any questions, if I have a lot of questions, if you have any questions, put them in caps for me, okay, and I'll try to answer them. I don't have a mod here right now, so we'll go as we can go and see what occurs. All right. And then I've got a couple other, well, maybe one other additional idea that I might add to some of these tapes. All right. Ange says, I am so excited. My great nephew wants me to make his invitation card. Oh, honey, that's a great honor. How fun will that be? Good. There you go. That's a great idea. All right. So, let's just get started. These inks are by Ranger. Now, I don't know if they're all Tim Holtz, but that says Tim Holtz on there. And that says Ranger, if you're not familiar with that brand. Now, there are other brands of ink. There's a Jacquard and there's a Dr. somebody. Not Dr. Who. There she is. Good morning, Peggy. We may need your brain. You'll make them and cry. Angie, you're so cute. There's this brand, Pinata, maybe. This is my gold. Okay. And let's see. I have my other ones put aside. Here's another Pinata. I have some. I want to say Dr. Phil, but that is not correct. There is a Dr. somebody. I think there's like a Jacquard. Well, I'm not an expert. I am not an expert on these inks, but I mostly am going to work with my my Ranger inks today. There's a few I have pulled out that are not Ranger. I pulled out a white that I have in the Pinata. Oh, that says Jacquard right on there. Jacquard. There's a Dr. somebody. Does anybody know? Doctor. Well, you could Google it. Alcohol inks and a plethora of inks are going to come up. All right. So I'm just going to jump in. Right off the bat, I'm going to start with what I call a tinkle tape, which is to try to recreate an aged looking piece. Dr. Martin. Yeah, Dr. Piet. Yeah. Thanks, Nicole. That's it. That's him. Dr. Martin. Doc Martin. I should remember that. All right, let's see. Now, the fiddly part is trying to see where you have the tape. Now, these are some wides. I'm looking for some narrow. There's a couple narrow. There's a couple more. I wonder if I have any that are just... Well, let me just take one of these and I'll show you what I do. Just to start at the very beginning. So these I'm going to put right over here to my left. So what I explained on Sunday is if you use a color ink that is more of a caramely, yellowy brown color, you'll get that aged kind of a look for what I lovingly call a tinkle tape because, okay, it's gross, but it looks like somebody tinkled on a piece of tape. So here I've got some of those colors, which is I use often latte, ginger, there's butterscotch, and caramel or caramel, however you wish to say it. Peggy, I was already talking about you. Were your ears burning? Saying that these were gifted to me by you. Most of these inks. I had a few, but not nearly as many as I have now. And all right, so I'm just going to take my cellophane tape, or as I would call it, Scotch tape. This is just, a cheap brand. And I'm just going to place this down on my release paper. Yes, one of your D-stashes. So thrilled to have them. And I'm going to put 3 on here. We'll do 3 different colors. Now, sometimes I'll mix those brownish yellow colors, but for right now, I'm just going to do 3 different ones so you can see how they look. Now, this piece of release tape, obviously, I've used before, so I'm just using it because it's going to get sloppy. It's going to get sloppy. So the first one now, when I've done this before, I've used a Q-tip. In fact, I think I did that on Sunday. See, and then it soaks up a lot of the ink and you just move it around. But I am not doing that anymore. I am just putting the ink on, and I have moved it around with, you know, really whatever. But recently, in the last day or two, I've been using this little air puff thing that is Tinkle's. Now, I said earlier you all weren't maybe in here. You can put a marker in here, like a paint marker, and you put the tip right next to that tip, and you secure it down and just push the air out, and you can spatter. But I've been using it to move my ink around. So this one is latte. This is more brown, if I remember correctly. Now, I hope you have your thinking caps on because we're going to use different colors. A couple that I made, I started out with a brown base and then added color to it. But then I went to just see, like this one. You can see where I have like the caramel colors underneath and I added colors on top. But then there were other ones that I started to do that I just used a straight up color alcohol inks. So I'm just going to move this around a little bit. Now the thing that's, oopsie, I got overspill here, but that's going to happen. I wish I could get this off, but this is on there, so that's a little annoying. But it moves the ink around pretty well. And it doesn't have to be totally covered. And if you want to do this and get the look of aging, some of those little puddles, if you will, just give that a little more character, and a little visually, I think, a little more appealing. So now I blew that, and I think it went under that other tape. So I'm just not going to really pay attention to that too much. The hard part for me this morning is going to be trying to keep my colors organized. So when I want to go to a blue, I can just go to the blue area. All right, this one is called Ginger, and of course this is a little more red. I'll see the difference in a minute. So I'm just squirting some on. Now you could really move that around with a brush. You could move it around with, say, like a plastic palette knife or even a metal palette knife. But this kind of I just like the way this looks. So now you can see the color difference there, right? You also can use a baby rubber bulbs. Oh, yeah. Oh, Peggy, yeah, I don't think oh, see, I told you, girls. Peggy's got great ideas. Good morning, Belinda. A straw, yeah, right. Straw makes you dizzy after a while. Yeah, like those you used to pull out the little snotties from your baby's nose with those little bulb. That's a great, I don't think I have one of those, but you know what? It might be a good idea to pick one of those up. See, and then when you get the darker areas, they just look so cool. So I have 3 of these kinds of colors. So I have butterscotch and caramel. So I'm going to do half of this one butterscotch and the other half caramel. Now, of course, cellophane tape, you can cut this and use just a little piece. Sometimes if you try to tear it, it gets a really cool shape, and that looks good on a page too. Now, it's not just journal pages you can use this on. Now, this is the caramel. Um, Butterscotch is Peggy's favorite. I don't know if I'm not sure if I have a favorite yet. I'm going to see after we do all four of these right next to each other. I didn't think I would like that ginger so much, but you know what? That's looking pretty cool. Now I'm going to try to blow this away from the. It's going to mix. It's going to mix. It dries fairly quickly. You could do this too, right? Just pick up your paper and just move it around. So this one's caramel. This is the butterscotch. That is a nice color. That's very, very deep. Actually, probably the latte is my least favorite. That's kind of like a brownish, got a kind of a brownish green tinge to me. So this is what I call tinkle tape. And you can find a lot of different uses for it. So this is the ginger. This is caramel. This is butterscotch. This is latte. And he's probably got a lot of other colors in that color grouping, if you will. But they're the four that I have. And even using all that ink, they do last quite a while. I mean, I didn't check the price of what they're going for now. And it's okay to leave it clear, so you have some clear bits too. Like we were messing around with this and I had it clear on this end so I didn't cover up her lips and then just had the inked part, the alcohol part there. Oh, okay, Peggy. You can use this method on glossy photo paper and get great mixed media look. Is that what they call the Yupo paper or something like that? See, believe me, I am not an expert. I'm self-taught and I don't really experiment a whole lot. But I do have photo paper somewhere. I didn't think to pull that out. That's a great idea. See, Peggy Scott, I'm telling you, girls, I'm telling you. So now I have another idea I want to try as we work and go through this. I could do this for hours, okay? So I'm just telling you, I could. Now, what happened on this one when I was messing around on Sunday, so I had a piece of tape here and I went to put some blue ink and I squeezed the bottle a little much and it shot over onto this piece. So as a result, these other and the other tapes I showed you just a little while ago are a result of this accident. See, happy? Oh, there you go. Yupo. Okay, yeah. Just a regular glossy stock. Okay. So then I did try it on the paper tape and I showed you a piece of that. Let's see if I can dig that out. And of course, that's a flat surface and it's dull. So it doesn't move like the cellophane, but it has a cool look to it. So I thought, well, what if I put some kind of medium on this first? Maybe it would help it to move. So I took a piece of tape and I put on golden matte medium, which I'm just noticing, I think my camera's a little crooked. Golden matte medium, which mine is a matte. It's a matte finish. It's not glossy. So that dried and I didn't think it would really do much. So then I pulled out I have clear gesso. So my clear gesso is so very old and it's really almost like a paste now. There's not too much liquidiness to it. I'm not sure I spritz a little water in there, but I painted this on, but it's still dull. But I'm going to throw some ink on here anyway and see what it does. So then I thought, well, wonder how it would look if I just put See, now here I have just the paper tape, but these I put packing tape on top. So I'm just trying different stuff to see what different kinds of effects we get. So I'm going to say if you have 3 colors that you would like to see me put on a piece of tape, put them in chat in capital letters for me, if you would, please. I basically have reds. I have a few orange type colors. I've got aqua, a variety of greens, a variety of blues, and I have only 3 what I would call in the purple family. And over to the side here, I've put my gold, I have black, white, and then I've got these really cool colors, mushroom and pebble. They're like amazing. So I just thought we'd have some fun and mess around with some of these. Now, the trick for me is going to be putting these where I can let them sit and dry for a minute. But these, see, these are just about dry already. And then I'm going to do something else with those in a little while, but not quite yet. All right, so now somewhere Lori has, well, here we are, her stack of prepped tapes. This one doesn't have anything on it. Got a few of those. Let's see. All right, so on here I have 2 pieces of packing tape. All right. I'm going to see. All right, Joyce is there. She's got, okay, let's see. All right, I see Belinda says, what are your red colors and what do they look like? Well, it's a little difficult to see. We're probably just going to have to use them. I've got cranberry. I've got watermelon. Now this is not a good idea, Lori. Let's get this out of the way here. My little pippets. Oh, I do have some regular alcohol, just alcohol that you would have in your bathroom or medical closet. Okay, there's Jacqueline. She's working and a lurking. She's at the real job today. I've got flamingo. I've got crimson and red pepper. And what is this one here? I think this one is called currant. Yeah, this one is currant. So I'm just basically going to drip on some colors. Now my sweater is gotten attached to some paper toweling over here. Oh, what's this one? Oh, and then I've got poppy field. Poppies. This week is totally killing you. She has been slammed at work. She has what she calls cases she has to work on. And she has been a busy girl. Busy girl. All right, Joyce is up first, and she said pink, green, one of the browns. One of the browns. Are you meaning a mushroom or pebble, Joyce? They're not really, they're kind of like a gray brown. I think that's what you're meaning, but we can always do if it's not. I'm going to do the mushroom or pull the mushroom out. And I've got, let's see, pink sherbet and raspberry, and then a green. I've got several greens. Okay, so chat's moving a little faster. Vale, I might lose you. I'm going to try to remember purple and green, but your recommendation or choice is going to move up. Probably, I think. Okay, so this says botanical, so let's just go for it. All right, so this is the wider tape. I'm just going to squirt some on. This is the mushroom. And I'm just going to pop this around. So this is kind of like, to me, a gray brown. And there might be a little bit of green in here, which will work nicely. So let me give that a little movement before we add the other colors, just to see. Now, if you have suggestions of how you want me to approach this, I'm open. Okay, because this is all an experiment. See, I've already got some on that other tape, which really doesn't matter. There's Cindy Daly. Cindy Daly, did you send me your address? Because if you did, I haven't seen it. I didn't go into email really much in the last couple of days. But I have that tape I promised to send you, so I want to get that to you. If you, no pressure, but if you're interested. All right, so let's move that around a little bit. Then let's add our green. I'm using one called Botanical. Now it's going to start to dry a little bit. And let's do a little bit of the pink sherbet. Just dripping some of that on. Now, when I squeeze it, sometimes it shoots a little bit. Oh, I'm sure it does come in soot. This is more of like a hot pink. Teresa would love that. She loves the neon hot colors. All right, so now let's move this around. I have trouble. I have trouble. My problem is leaving it alone. Once it gets going, leaving it alone and not adding additional colors. That's my problem. Now it's okay to have white space, I think. My email is paintgirly@gmail.com. PAINTGIRLEE. It's the same as on my channel name. I'm not sure if I'm. Sometimes I feel like my words don't come out very clear. My letters. So that's kind of cool, but I think it needs a little something else. Let's try another shade of green. Let's get this is called Clover. You don't really have to shake these, says Tim, but it's just habit, because there's no little mixer bowl in here. They don't really settle, I don't believe. Now you can also add other alcohol on top to make it do kind of cool things. So we'll do that too. I kind of lost the pink, I think. Let's do the raspberry again. Well, that's kind of, maybe that's the hot pink one. It does look hot pink, doesn't it? Maybe it's the sherbet. And like I said earlier, it doesn't have to, it's just a matter of preference, right? It doesn't have to be solid. I mean, it looks cool solid, but it doesn't have to be. You can leave the white space. So here I have, this is just pure drugstore alcohol. Mine is 91%. I don't know any of the chemistry of, what looks better, what works better. I'm sure they sell alcohol just for alcohol inks, but when I spray it, it kind of goes all over. So sometimes I just want to take my little pipette, which is like an eyedropper, and just drop some on, and we can see it do some cool things. So I'm a little hesitant to just spray it, which I will do, but it just gets a little. So when you just drip it on, see, it does things like that. Can you see okay? There's a dark spot. Oh, okay, great, great, Cindy. Thank you. Because I don't want to use that tape on something after I promised it to you. Now, I've also done things where I just have a puddle and I think, maybe I'll pick a little bit of that up. So I just tip in my paper towel. But I'm sure you could blot this too, right? And have it look kind of cool. I just blot it a little bit there. My left hand's a little shaky today. Now this here, I don't know if it's on the tape or off. So here's where my Q-tip, I think, is going to come in handy. I'm going to just take a Q-tip with some alcohol on it and see if I can do a cleanup on aisle 2. Now, Vale had mentioned green and purple. This doesn't really, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do just the pink and green without the mushroom. Let's see what that looks like before I move on to the green and purple. This is the hot pink. This is the raspberry. And that's red. I'll put my pink here. And let's get, this one is called Meadow. This is a nice green. This is, like a grass green kind of. Pop some of that down. And then let's get like a lime, or this is a limeade. How about that? Get some limeade. And then we'll get some of the sherbet. And I'm going to use the air. Now this one, if I spritz the alcohol on, we're going to get a different look. But it's all going to blend together, I think, eventually. But I don't know that I want to change the look of this one. So I think maybe I'm going to maybe purple and a lighter blue instead of green. Okay. Or we could do both. So what I'm going to do is maybe get a piece of scrap paper. And I'm going to kind of shield that a little bit. Oops, I got to put this back together. Now, somewhere I have the little tiny misters, but I didn't really think about that till just a second. So, and I don't know where they are. You see, like I said, the hard part for me is just leaving it be. I've got quite a bit there. Let's move this around a little bit more. And then you can go back in and drip your ink on top of the other ink. Now, I think once you add more ink on top, or of course the alcohol, it's going to move it. But if it dries first, maybe it doesn't move as much. I'm not sure. See, see over here. I think that is just like fantastic. And you can cut this, you can cut your tape and just use a little portion. You don't have to use the big old honking strip, I'm going out on my own here a little bit, Joyce. Let's have a little watermelon, because that's kind of a pinky. I know, right, Gail? Vale, I keep saying Gail. I know your name is Vale. It comes out, Gail. It's my brain. Because the watermelon's kind of a pinky and a red combo. Now I think I need something over here. Um, just the alcohol ink, if I'm correct, on this type of surface moves like this. Your watercolor may move a little bit like this, but your acrylic is not going to move like this. Now, if you put some of that on first and then put your alcohols, I think the alcohol ink would move away from that. Now, I do have water here too, water, and I can spritz that. And that just beads up. See how that beads up? Now, if I leave that alone, because it made like little puddles, I believe it will stay like that. I'm sure Peggy knows about some of this because and if Gail pops in, Gail probably knows as well because these gals know a lot of stuff. Putting a little bit of water there. I'll just leave that sit and see how it dries. Now it's not for every project, right? But it certainly is fun to do this. I got to tell you that it is fun. All right, so now Vale had said perhaps a light blue, and purple. Would you say, Vale? Where did you go? Maybe purple and a lighter blue instead of the green. Okay, so here I've got. Let's see. This is 4 strips of the narrow cellophane tape. So my choices in purple are this jacquard purple, which is a very dark. This color is called Cool Perry, which I think it's supposed to be periwinkle, which is a blue purple. And I have Purple Twilight. Now, as far as light blues, I've got aquas, but all these other blues I think are fairly dark. I've got Stonewashed. I don't think I have like a sky aquamarine pool. That's a lighter blue, but it is a green blue. This is aqua. This is light, but there again, it's got a little bit of a. Oh, yeah, yeah. You were wondering because you don't. Yeah, I don't know a lot about them, quite honestly. This is the most I've used them. There's mermaid and pool. So let's try a little periwinkle. You love the light peri? Yeah, great minds. I picked it up just as your message came through. So now these are thinner strips. So let's just dot some of this here and there and everywhere. And then let's add some purple twilight. Hope hubby gets that. And this is called Purple Passion Purple. I apologize for that phone. I have no idea where my husband is to get that. He's probably he still has to use a scooter, so he's probably not by the house phone. All right, let's give this a little air. That dark purple's really kind of overtaken that periwinkle. Let's try a little aqua. What song, Ange? What if you let it dry long? Oh, yeah, that's an idea, Vale. Let it dry longer before you add the alcohol. Ooh. And then we can add white and black too. I've messed around a little bit with that. The black is difficult because, it's so dark, but just trying to get a little bit. And the white kind of lightens it up. Now I've got quite a bit of the one I'm singing above. Oh, I missed it. Singing words of wisdom. Oh, let it be, let it be. Let's mop up a little bit of that. I've got overspray there. I'm going to put a little white in here. Maybe the white I should. Oh, this is not white. This is pearl. Oops. Oops. There's Teresa. Hey, Teresa. Oh, that's looking cool. Now let's let this dry for a little bit, and then I'll come back to this one and we'll add a couple drips of alcohol, just straight up alcohol, and see if the movement is different, which I'm sure that's a very good point. I'm sure it will be. All right, so now this just has little speckles on it here. I'm going to stay away from that one. I'm going to work on this end of this tape over here. And I liked Vale's original idea of greens and the purple. So let's do, I think I have one called lettuce. Oh, I have yellows too. Oh, citrus. Let's do a citrus. I'm very heavy handed. You may have noticed. You may have noticed that. So I'm trying to get less. Less is more, as they say. I might think about picking up a couple of different purples. That purple twilight was, and this passion purple is really, really dark. This is the Perry. And then I guess you could also put down some alcohol first, and then add your ink. What did I do with my little? Trying to stay somewhat organized is a little difficult for me. A little difficult for me. I'm going to see if I can. Now, generally speaking, alcohol, dries or evaporates, quicker than water. Now, I'm going to try to just put a little tiny drip of this. Hey, Deb. Good morning. I'm trying to just tap this to just get a little light. Ugh. Just big drips. They're big drips. Ugh. So much for light. It's hard just to get a little tiny bit in here. I'm going to add a little yellow, I think. I have lemonade, I have sunshine, and a honeycomb. Oh, honeycomb might have been a good tinkle tape one. So I'm going to put on some lemonade. Brighten that up a little. Now the gold acts really differently when you put that on. So I think the gold is probably better once it dries a little bit. So let's give that a chance to dry. This looks dry down here, but still a little damp at that end. So let's give that a little more time. Let's do okay, let me get my colors here. This is aqua. Let's do a spritz of aqua. I've got mermaid, which sounds yummy. And this is pool. Let's try pool. Hey, April. Good morning. Nice to see you. Some pool. It's a little warmer here today, but very, very breezy. Oh, I have two pools. All right, let's move this a little bit. I cut on that other tape. It's all right. It's all right. It's all good. It's all right. Let's try the Cool Perry one here. You know, sometimes when if you color, or if you do any kind of a project like kind of like with paints or anything, you might want to stay within like three different color families, and not get too crazy. I think sometimes Dee Dee Willingham does that, if I remember correctly, where you're trying to say, so once you get past three colors, you kind of, I guess, maybe kind of lose the idea of the color palette. I don't know if that makes sense. Ooh, that looks cool. See, like this one here, maybe I should. April, I am using alcohol inks on cellophane tape or like scotch tape, packing tape, and moving the inks around to create a decorative tape that you can use either on a journal page or a mixed media piece. Just remember, if you get it the way you like it, and it's a mixed media piece, these are not sealed in any way. So if you put this on a mixed media piece and then paint matte medium over top of it or something, or watercolor paint or something, I would think it would still move unless you put a sealant on it, would be my guess. I have never sealed them. So I made some tinkle tape earlier to make it look like aged tape, for on a journal page. Mostly I use it. But I mostly do journal stuff anyway, not I do some mixed media. I was in um, Dee Dee Willingham's yesterday, and oh my gosh, she was flipping through her collage, one of her collage books. She just look. I'm just using my pokey tool to move some of this. This is starting to dry a little bit. Just kind of moving this a little bit. She just makes you want to either get a magazine and take it apart and use images, or go through your magazine or fussy cut fodder and do collage. She's just, it's incredible the work she does. It's just really cool. See, I think I might want to leave that one alone because I think that was very pretty. Those aquas and those purples, I think, are very pretty. April, this is what I used it on Sunday. Just to give you an idea, once you make some tapes, you can add it to a cover. This is a little board book. Oh, thanks, Peggy. That I just pasted some digitals down and some paper, and then this is a rub on, and then I just added some of this alcohol tape, for a lack of a better term, to decorate the page, enhance your page. So this is what I'm thinking these could be used for. And of course, you can cut this, and put them down this way. Yes, once you start, you can't stop. This is like jelly printing to me. Once I get the urge to jelly print, I just sit for hours and just keep making all these painty papers because they don't look, they either don't look so great, or it's addictive to me. But that could be my personality. Now, this one I put this pearl in. I thought it was white, but this is a pearl. Pearl. So that looks kind of cool there. But let me just see. This is still a little tacky. But see, I think this one will look good with gold on it. Now this is dry. Let's do this one. Vale asked the question, what would happen if we let the tape and the alcohol ink dry and then drip on just the clear alcohol, the isopropyl, whatever it is in your medicine cabinet, Right. No two are the same. They're like snowflakes. Snowflakes and fingerprints. I wonder what it will look like with a fingerprint in there. I wonder if you could get a nice fingerprint in there. But look how nice and deep that color blue is on the corner. Are you seeing this well enough? I mean, I just think they're darling. And you know what? You just put it on. It's not like you're drawing or trying to get a particular shape. It's just Fabaroni. All right, so this has alcohol in it. I put it a little bit in. Let's just drip a little. Now this is dried. So it moves basically the same way, but at a slower pace than when it's wet. That's my take. Okay, April, thanks for saying hi. You have a great day. See, so it basically is moving the same way. Blending solution. Deb, what is in blending solution? See, I don't have that. So is that a straight up alcohol, do you know? Or is it a combo of things, or a different percentage of alcohol? Any idea? Blending. See, I got to write that down. Hold on. I got to write that down somewhere. Blending solution. I might need to get some of that. Oh, my my sweater keeps attaching. Blending solution. I'll forget that for sure. Blending solution. Oh, that's great. Thanks for mentioning that. Okay. Now that you say it, I do recall that there is such an animal, but I would not have thought of that on my own. All right, so this one, I think I want to add a little gold. Now, the golds, I believe in the metallics, you do have to shake. It's to blend, lighten, and remove the ink from Ranger. Okay, cool. Thanks, Deb. All right, I'm going to put a little gold. Now, you're going to see the gold, I think, reacts a little different. And see, this has a bigger nose. This brand of inks, this is your card. See, this has got a big, kind of a big nose. Big nose. I'm going to bring this up here. See how it almost looks like an amoeba. Now I'm going to try to move that a little bit. Now the other ones that I put gold on, where's my samples? I like when the gold gets kind of liney and veiny, so I'm not sure how that happens, or it just happens. I'll show you the one, a couple that I put the gold on. They I didn't do anything that I know of in particular to make it the end result that it got to be like this. See how it got like that? I don't know why it got like that. I don't know if it just, as it dries, it continues to separate. And then I have it on the, I have a paper tape one. Here, this one. See, this is more amoeba-ish, if you know what I mean. But see, I really like this. But I don't know how I did that. You know? I don't know if I could, I know I didn't use a pokey tool. It just kind of, I think it just happened. Now, I did once these started to dry on one of the ones when I was messing around on my own with this. Once they started to dry, I scraped a little bit with a pokey tool. Oh, okay, Peggy. Peggy says the blending solution also extends the drying time. That's good to know. Like I have acrylic paint extender. Um, all right, so now I'm going to cover these up. And I want to spray my alcohol on that one, on this one. Now this has the pearl. Now, if anybody else has some color combos that they would like me to try, put that in chat and caps. Hey, Gail, there she is. Morning. Just got home from a walk in the park. That's all right. You're retired. Late starts are good. I'm going to cover that up. Now, I'm just going to take my spray and see. Now, this has been drying. Yeah, I don't see it really doing much. I'll go move that alcohol around a little bit, see if it starts to do anything. I don't see it really moving anything. Maybe it will like eat its way through and start to move. Oh no. Gail, have you ever worked with alcohol inks? All right, so this one I'm going to put aside and try not to mess any more with it. So there we've got 4 little tapes. I'm leaving that. I'm leaving this one just because I think it looks cool. Not on a so. Okay, cool. All right, let's try some of this. This is, I've got plain tape here, the skinny, regular, like Scotch tape. Here, this is just paper tape, and this is paper tape with packing tape on top. So let's give this a go. All right. All right, let me put back. I've been wanting to try. I've got, oh, that's honeycomb. All right, so these are my yellows. Let's move over, boys. These are the greens. That clover is pretty dark. I've got one called Peach Bellini. I want to try that one. There's yellow, Peach Bellini. So how about if we do Peach Bellini? Now, where are my purples? Let's get my purples all in a row here. Just going to move these blues, my aquas. Let's put the purples right here. I don't know what I do with my Perry. Let's do the Peach Bellini and let's do some red. Okay, Ange. Enjoy. Oh, nice, Deb. Oh, I love the Etsy sales. Aren't they great? I get so excited. All right. So let's just see what happens. I'm going to do the Peach Bellini. And this is Valencia. So that's a stronger, I would think, orange presence. And then let's pick a couple of reds. My gal, Jacqueline, loves red. It's her fave. Now let's do this. Let's do these. Now you got to find release papers. You have any stickers or labels around the house, or like those little price tags, the little circles, the little dots? All that is release paper that you can use. All right, let's do the same process on a piece of the brown tape that's covered with cellophane and then just the brown tape, and we'll just see the difference. Let's do that. Doesn't that sound fun? All right, let's try the Peach Bellini first. Now the thing about the Ranger is nice because this has a nice little thin tip. All right, so I'm just sprinkling this on first. I'm doing the both the same, hopefully, with each substrate. Now this is going to dry quicker. It's going to suck into the paper. So I'm going to hit that with the air first. Move that around. Now, I guess I should mention, do this in a well-ventilated area because, I really haven't smelled anything until just now. So I'm not sure what the difference is, but so that was the Peach Bellini. Now let's do a little Valencia. This is not really showing too much on the paper tape. So I'm shaking on some Valencia. Now you could just leave it puddled like that. That might be an idea. Let's move it a little. Now, of course, you don't have to have the little air puffer thing. You can just, shake it. And let it drip. This is kind of looking like a crime scene, I think. Just saying. Okay, Poppy Field. When I say the word Poppy, I cannot. Cindy, woodwork on grungy. Yeah, we'll do a grungy. We'll see if we can do a grungy. This is Poppy Field. Every time I say Poppy, I want to say Poppy. like in The Wizard of Oz. Oh, see, look what that's doing. So now the paper may not be your favorite, but it certainly is cool. And I think it would really work under uh, something you wanted to put in your journal. You know, if you want to put a word on top or a phrase or a small picture or a stamp, you know, like for a background. I'm liking that. I'm liking it on the packing tape on top of the brown. What I should have done was, here's an idea. Here's an idea. Let's do the same thing on just a straight up piece of cellophane so we can get an idea of how it all looks. So first I did the peach Bellini. I'm going to go out here on this far edge. And I think I moved that around a little bit with the air. Now, Peggy mentioned as if you don't have one of these things, you know, you might have sitting around in your medicine cabinet or your medical closet one of those little bulb things we used to use with our kids to help them clear out their nose, you know, or sometimes they use them to, you know, clean wax out of your ear. It's a smaller presence, and you could use a straw, blow through a straw, but I get very dizzy doing that. But so there are some other options if you don't have this Tim Holtz thing. I just happened to remember it was in my drawer. I thought, oh, I wonder what I could do with that. And I started spritzing these, and they just looked cool. All right, so that was the Valencia that I put on second. And now let's put the poppy field on. Are you still with me? You still with me? Has anybody got any color suggestions? We're going to try to do a grungy. So if you've just come in, looks like I've lost a few people. So I guess this isn't everybody's cup of tea. But if you just happen to come in, on this particular sheet of release paper, I've got brown paper tape covered with packing tape. This is just the brown paper tape, and this is just what I would call Scotch tape or cellophane tape. Oh, there's Coloring View. Hello, hello. Good morning. See, I think that one looks way cool. And this one doesn't look bad either. This is definitely a different look and a different maybe a different use. You were into clouds? You were into clouds? Oh gosh, I just lost a lot of people. Oh dear. Oh dear. All right, I think that's really cool. I love that one. All right, so let's try grunge. Let's see if we can grunge it up. I'm going to put this aside, leave them the way they are. Let me see if I can find another. What do we have on here? This is the three. I want to get a wide one, I think, for the grunge. Okay, this has 2 pieces of packing tape on it. So I'm going to sit this right up in front of me. I can still see chat, but then it can have a chance to dry. I just have a paper towel under here so I don't have it all puddled up on my glass top. All right, so grunge. When I think of grunge, I'm thinking of browns and blacks and stuff like that, which I don't have the browns. But I'm going to start off with what I would use for a tinkle tape. Let me put the peach Bellini back, and that's my pinks. Get my red back in there. Valencia. Makes me want to eat an orange. I think I'm going to start with, now, when I first started this morning, we did these. Now, this was, let's see if I can recall. This is the butterscotch. This is caramel. This is latte. And this is the other one. Let's see, what's it? Ginger. This one's ginger. I think I'm going to do the butterscotch. So I'm going to start out with the butterscotch to give me a base, and I'm going to put that on. I think so it covers pretty much all of my tape. So this is butterscotch, and the hard part is seeing where the tape is on your release tape. So I'm going to put a good amount of this on. And then I'm going to move it around with that little air bulb, little sprayer spritzer thing. It's not the technical term. I don't know what he calls this. If you have any questions for me, please put it in caps. And Peggy and I will try to answer. Jacqueline's at work. She's listening, but she's slammed at work. She has on quite a few occasions. It's like, is there anything for us to do today? But yesterday and today, she's really had a big caseload, right? Ginger, latte, butterscotch. Oh, I know they do, right? All right, so that's a pretty good base. Now, I do have the mushroom and the pebble, which I think are good grunge colors. So this is the pebble. I'm going to add some of that on. And then I'm going to add on some of the mushroom. I don't have any browns. And I think I'm going to need some black. What else as far as grunge colors might we try and add on? I don't have any like grays, but these are more the pebble and the mushroom are really more in a brown gray family, I think. I might add a little ginger. You would stop here? Okay. Now I'm going to clean that up, try to get that. I'm going to take a little piece of paper towel and some just plain alcohol. And take that off of this tape. And I think I'm going to start with the mushroom and the pebble rather than the oh, thanks, Cindy. Rather than the caramely butterscotchy look. Now let's see. Yeah, this is another big packing tape. I'm going to put this. Okay, this is mushroom at the top. Let's just see if we can really see the difference here. And then I'm going to put the pebble at the bottom. And move that around a little bit and see if we can get an idea of really the coloring of those two. To me, they look very much alike. I think the pebble has more gray and the mushroom has more brown, which makes sense, right? Now they look cool. I think I'm going to drip a little black on there. Teresa says, I think I would add a touch of dark blue. To which one, Teresa? To this grunge over here? I think those two look cool, don't they? Let's do a little black in the center and then see if we can get some to drip on either side. The first one. Now that black is not moving like the other. Of course, I didn't put a whole terrible amount on. Let's add a little. Let's add a little drip of alcohol to the black. The black has like blue, purpley kind of undertones. Yeah, I guess you could call that grunge right there, right? It's got a lot of white, of course, peeking through, but I kind of like that. Oops, got some on the hand. Let's add another little bit of, I think I want a little black down here. Let's add a little black over here. The black seems to have a little more of a thicker consistency than the other inks. That could be just my imagination, but that's what it feels. That's what it seems like. I think that looks like a pretty neat grunge myself. All right, Teresa wants to see a little bit of dark blue on this first one. I don't know that I have a dark blue like a navy. Let's just say I've got a cobalt, indigo. There you go. That's a dark blue, right? Eggplant. Oh, that should be in with my purples. Eggplant. There's my pool. That's lighter. All right, let's try a little bit of this indigo. Let's see. I'm going to try it down this end because I really like that end. Now, this is dried a little bit. I don't know that it's totally dry. Let's hit that with a little alcohol, maybe. Anybody else have an idea or a suggestion? Let's just, I'm just tapping this, a little straw that goes in the sprayer. That looks cute. I mean, that looks nice on top, I think, Teresa. I really am kind of loving that one, though. What about a little bit of gold? Oops, got my finger in it. What about a little bit of gold on this one? I should leave it. I should leave it alone. Let's replicate that on a thin piece and maybe add some gold. Goldfinger. He's the man with the, how does it go? Midas touch. Midas touch. All right, this has a piece of, let's see, I'm having a hard time here. Clear and wide, clear and wide. Oh my gosh, that reminds me of a Sunday school song. I haven't sung that in years. Deep and wide, deep and wide. I wonder if the my grandkids sing that at church. Okay, here we go. This has packing tape. Oh, this is just packing tape. All right, let's just add a piece of tape. I've got packing tape right here in the middle. No idea why I did that. Where's my Scotch tape? Thank you, Gail. Let's take a piece of this and put it right here. And I'm going to put another piece of tape on this side. I've got packing tape in the center. You can do all one color too, right? I mean, you don't have to do all this crazy stuff. Different colors. All right, so now what was I going to do? Oh yeah, I was going to replicate. Okay, so I've got mushroom and pebble on the two opposite ends. So let's do mushroom here, to the left, and we'll do pebble at the other end. These are nice colors, ladies. These are nice colors. Now, these were gifted to me from Peggy through one of her purges. And Peggy, when you purchased these and got these colors, did they come in a kit or did you pick out different colors you wanted for projects, or how did that work? Like if someone wanted to purchase some alcohol inks, that might be helpful information. Okay, so this is the pebble, and this is the mushroom. And then I put black in the center. I am going to shake the black. Timmy says you don't have to shake the alcohol inks, but this one really feels thicker. I'm going to put some of that black in the center. And then I'm going to add the air to move that around a bit. See if I can get that to drip. Gonna need a little alcohol on that. So let's grab some in the pipette. Let's slow this little dropper up a bit. How am I on time? I'm not even paying attention. I'm not paying attention. Let's see. It's 11:30. That black is not moving like the other. Hey, Christine, how are you? Nice to see you. Let's put a little bit more on there. There we go. I think that's better. Maybe I should add. I don't have to recap in these. I don't think I have to recap them. Well, I guess so because they dry out. All right, this is the pebble. That's down here. Let's add a little bit more here. Not dry out, but evaporate, I would guess. We're getting another layer on there. And I can put some of this on top of the black too, right? That might help. Might look cool. Maybe you won't even see it. Now I'm doing this second one here because I want to put some gold on. I think I want that filled in now. Let's see. This is the mushroom. Let's put some mushroom in here. Whoop, 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 whoop. That looks grungy. All right, now to recap my inks. I'm anxious for my silver to get here. I went by price mostly, and on Amazon, it'll tell you what is, I guess the best option or what is purchased more or most popular, whatever. I went with that one, and the reviews were really good. The price was, a little lower than other. I'm getting another gold because the gold can be pricey just to buy by itself. So I'm getting a second gold and I'm getting silver. I'm anxious to get those, but it's going to be a little while. It's not going to be till the end of the month or towards the end of the month. All right, so I'm putting on some of this gold and then I'm going to move that around. Just to see how it looks. See, it does kind of separate itself. I can add some alcohol too. See if I can get that some additional movement. I like it when it gets like those lines, like veiny lines. So I'm not sure how you can control, or if you can control that. But that's getting more like, see those little veiny lines? I like that lots. Now, see, I didn't put any blue on there, but there's some blue coming out of that black. Scrapbook Made Simple has a sale on these inks right now. Um, I'm not familiar with that. Is that scrapbook.com or it's called scrapbookmadesimple.com? Is that what it is, Cindy? I'm not familiar with that. Oh, that's a good tip. See, now this is dripping on other tape I have down, but I'm going to leave that there. Yes, okay, Scrapbook Made Simple. Ooh, just what I need. Another venue to another venue to shop. Woo. I like that, girls. That looks nice. Dale, you're the grunge expert. What do you think, kid? What do you think? All right, this I'm going to leave on that tape. This one I'm going to clean up so I can do something else on there. Now, I did have another idea come to me as I'm working through some of this stuff that I want to try before today's live ends. I usually stay on about 2 hours. Um, and then for me on the East Coast, it's about lunchtime. So I'm going to clean this piece of tape up a little bit here. This I'm going to leave because I might add other to that. But they kind of look cool. So I think I might add some other. Now this piece of release tape, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's got little tiny squares. See, they were labels that I used up. These are old labels I pulled off and used. I don't know if you can see that underneath there. But I'm going to do a couple more of the Tinkle tape ones here. And I want to use a lighter color because I have another idea to add to it. So I don't want to use the ginger. Let's see, what do I have? Maybe, where's my, the latte I don't think has as nice of a look to it, but I think it is a little lighter. These are really intense, I think. I'm thinking if maybe I use, I was thinking if I use the ginger and add a little bit of yellow, that might get too orangey. I don't want it super orangey. Maybe I'll try the caramel this time, the caramel. My sister Jackie says caramel. I say caramel. Pass me the caramel. Do you want any caramel? All right, that's butterscotch. Oh, caramel's right in front of me. All right, so these are little skinnies. Okay, let's try a little bit of that. Maybe I'll just rub that across with my finger. I just want kind of a solid cover of that. And that looks kind of light, but let me add a little, I'm going to add a little sunshine. That looks like a petri dish. I want to give this a chance to dry. Now we can do a comparison. I'm not giving my secret. I'm not giving my idea away yet. So let's put that on. Let's just do another one. Let's do half butterscotch and half latte. So this is the butterscotch. This one's a long butterscotch, and let's try the latte here. Now, you may be saying to yourself, or have thought, at least thought this, what is she going to do with all that tape? Well, there's a method to my madness. Jacqueline and I, it's Jacqueline's chat. Oops, we got overshot there. Jacqueline, Lovely's Crafting Lodge, has a presence online. She dyes paper, which is just so very yummy. And then she was gracious to invite some of us to come alongside her and sell some different things. So I am part of that with her. And I'm going to send some of these tapes. You have a powder spritzer that works like this here? Oh, I don't know what that is. Oh, good, Teresa. Anyway, I'm going to be sending some of these tapes to Jacqueline as part of her product line. So I don't know if that may interest some of you. It may not. But there's our Kelly Ann. Good morning, my dear. We always need a little sunshine. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Thank you, Peggy. So Peggy's got Jacqueline's link there. She sells on Fridays, most Fridays. I don't know if that is still the case. I haven't checked with her. She's been slammed this week, so I'm not sure that might happen. But anywho, usually 4 p.m. Eastern. And Deb's back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Okay, so I'm going to let this dry. Really doesn't take too terribly long. All right, so what I'm going to do, maybe I'll cut those. Maybe, hold on. Let's see. Where can I see? I taped these pretty close together when I was making my... Oh, you know what? This is oh, silly mama. This is packing tape. I'm going to cut right down the center. I don't want to ruin my not ruin it, but I don't want to interfere with that grunge right there. So I've got these two. So now there's a lot of clear, although clear might be cool as well with my next suggestion. So let's see. Oh, this has got 4 strips of the thin. And what have I got here? This is a packing tape piece. I didn't think about not being able to or having difficulty seeing what tape I put on what sheets of release paper. I'm going to put a couple pieces of just the tape here. So I've got one narrow, and then where did I put my, I've got a big wheel of packing tape. I did straighten up my desk a little bit this morning, so who knows where anything I'll put. I've got a packing tape here that's not cooperating in that I let the little edge, stick to itself. And I haven't been able to figure out. Thanks, Cal. All right, I know I didn't move it. Oh, I know where I put it. Hold on, hold the phone, hold the phone. Here it is. Sometimes you have to look up, sometimes you have to look down. All right, so as I was messing around with this the other day and doing all my different little colors and seeing how things looked and was messing around. And then as I was flipping through my samples, well, they're not really samples, my creations, if you will, I thought, oh, I wonder how, how it would look if now where are my samples? Now, see this one, I think this one's kind of grunge. Maybe not. I put a little pink on this one. But as I was looking through some of these, I was wondering, I wonder how it would look if I stamped on the tape with, say, a script stamp, like rubber stamp. So that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do before I sign off for this morning. Now, it just occurred to me, it could look good just on clear tape as well, right? So now your stays on ink is archival ink that is permanent. So once it goes and you let it dry, it's not going to move. So that gave me an idea. Now I've stamped this on buttons too. If you haven't tried that, give it a go. If you've got like a round, well, let's see what I have sitting here. Hold on. Let's have a look. Let's just see if I can get it. Now the buttons, of course, are a little fiddly because they're little. And of course, the kind of button. Now see here, look, here's a big old blue button. It's pretty much smooth and a flat surface. I'm going to see if I can stamp on that just to show you what I'm talking about. I mean, I've got other stuff in here. This little guy shouldn't be in. This little guy should not be in this container. Let's see. I've done it on like a plain shank white button, which of course, let's see if I can find one in here. See, this is kind of domed. This button here is kind of domed. So that would be difficult to do that. Oh, that's the back open. You know what, Gail, are you still here? Is Gail still here? Gail, are you still here? Let's see if Gail's still here. I have a question for her. I have a question for you. Miss Gail. Miss Gail. She's here. Gail, I got this somewhere. I don't know. I have a couple, I think. This one is in my face. Would you like that? If I find the second one, would you want them? I don't really do this skull stuff, but I seem to remember you like this design. Hey, Crank, how are you? Let me know. No pressure, but I could wrap that up and send that to you. Oh, I'm not finding what I'm looking for. So let's just try this blue one. Now it looks like yes, it's a button. Okay, sweetie, I'll send that your way. Probably not. Well, it probably won't be this week, to tell you the truth. But this looks like a little bit of the finish has been kind of worn off of that button. Can you see that little circle? So I'm not sure how that's going to turn out. You're quite welcome. Every time I look at that button, I think I should ask Gail. I should ask Gail, and there it is. Timing is everything, as they say. All right. So the tinkle tape, I have that drying. And now I've gone to buttons. See, I'm just so ADD, so very ADD. All right, so I'm thinking if I put a cushion under here, like my trusty little mouse pad, I might get a better stamp. So let's do that. Now it's not going to matter for the button, right? This is pretty juiced up, I think. So let's just hope it is. I checked it this morning. It's stamped really well. So let's just see. Now I've got this LeBlanc stamp that I like. It's got script on it. I just really love this script. So what I'm going to do is put my ink, my stays on because it's not going to move. Your Timmy inks, you know, your distress inks, that's not permanent. It's not going to stay. So I want something that's not going to move after I put the ink, put this on. So I'm going to ink my stamp and then I'm just going to press my button down and see what happens. Because it's not flat. Some buttons are flat. This one's got a little bit of a dome to it, not much. But I don't want it to be blurry. So I think if I put it down and press, it might turn out better. We'll see. Here's hoping. So I'm going to ink this area, and it doesn't really have to be perfect for me. But I would like to get I would like to make a good impression. So I'm not wiggling. I'm not doing the wiggle wind. I'm just pressing down. And it's not super great. But it's still cute. It's still a little cute. Now see a better choice in button. I got tons of buttons. But do you know, see, I just do this stuff and then an idea comes to me and it's hard to go digging through your stuff while you're doing a live. Not hard. It's just annoying. I hate to make people sit and wait for me to dig through jazz. So this could have been a little better. I should have probably stamped off to see how well this is inking. Let's just do that. See, there's my little frogs I did earlier to test. So this could really use a lot more ink. Now I'm going to do the same with this tape. This is just plain cellophane tape, and then I'm going to do it on the Tinkle tape. All right, just to see how they look. I haven't thought about this before. Now I'm going to just see how juiced up this is. See if I'm getting a good, sometimes you have to ink your stamp a couple of times before you get a nice image. And that's much better. See, I should have done that first with the button. So I'm going to just add more ink. A couple of buttons sitting up here. And here's a little one. This is a 4-holer. That's the back. No. Okay, so I'm going to just try to get. Oh, sorry, Gail. I saved it to Try to be funny. All right, so I'm going to go this way and press. Just kind of press in. I think that looks nice. That's because that's my terminology. That's my brain, Marcy. I apologize. But when I first saw it and then made it, Johnny from um, Junk Journal Shop showed me how she makes it. Um, yeah, that's a Lori term for colored cellophane tape. Yes, exactly. Hey, Dana, good morning. So I don't know why I never thought of this before. Just putting it on tape, either packing tape or um, this is just regular like Scotch tape. But then I made this tape, the aged tape. Maybe I should behave myself and not call it what I call it. And I want to stamp on that, see how it looks. So let's give me a little more ink here. How's your weather in Florida, Dana? It's still really cold here today. Now we did have the sun come out. All right, so let's. Yeah, like if you see if you're going through like an old magazine or an old book and somebody, like my grandmother used to tape everything, she used to put paint on everything and tape everything. So if you're going through an old magazine or something, I should probably get a block. Let's see, do I have one sitting here? I did have one sitting here. I thought, oh, I should put that away. Oh, yeah, here it is. To give me a more even press. Um, and it just looks, it's 70 today. Oh, nice. It's been a little warmer here, but we really didn't have much of our snow melt. It's still. All right, let's see. Now that could look cool, right? So I have to give that a little bit to dry because this ink takes a little bit to dry. So stays on jet black ink. You still have snow? Yeah. It gets very cold at night. And it still looks like a frozen tundra here, really. We were out yesterday, and my husband said, geez, I really was hoping we'd get a little more melting. And you could see a little bit melted, but not nearly what we need. So that's an idea too, right? Now, some of these tapes, they're a little more intense. You might not see that, or you may not want to see it so much. But see, you can stamp on top of this. Now, I don't want that to smear. So I'm going to let that dry a little bit, but I think that would look cool on a journal page. You're melting on the edges? Yeah, we're not melting much on the edges, if I'm honest. All right. So now a few of you maybe just have popped in, and I'm getting ready to rock and roll, to tell you the truth. So let me show you what we did today. All right, Dana said my sister and my best friend both had surgery yesterday, and I'm going to go there and check on them. They live right by. Oh, that's good. Oh, they'll be so happy to see you. I hope they did well with their surgeries. Okay, I don't want to lose that button for Gail. All right, so I'm going to put this aside and see, what do we do today? Okay, so I got some suggestions as far as colors. So this is the packing tape. I think these were Joyce's colors, and she suggested a brown, like one of my pebbles or the mushroom, pink and blue, I think. Was it Joyce? So that's what we did there. And then this here, oh no, green. You said green. Green and pink. It just kind of went blue, I guess, from the green separating out. Green and pink. And then she said one of the, yeah, green. And then, so then over here, I did kind of just the green and pink without the pebble. So now I'll lift these off. Now, see, it just looks kind of messy there, but I've got these little strips of release paper. I'm going to show you how nicely this comes off. I mean, you have to fuss a little bit to grab the end, but see, that just peels, and they're still real sticky on the back. And then I'm just going to put it on here. Now, see, I got that wrinkled. I've got that wrinkled. But I can just pick it up and straighten it out. Oh, okay. Yeah, Wendy sells. She's coming on at noon. I try to get off by noon, and then what's today? Thursday. I don't know. Is this the third Thursday? I know the third Thursday. APG Jamie comes on, and Thursday evening Beth comes on. Right. Uh, all right. So let me get another piece of this. Now, this was a little more pricey. I didn't really know what I was buying. When I put in on Amazon, I put in release paper. It's stuff came up with reference to diamond painting. So I wasn't sure if that was, I was thinking that would be sticky. Oh, okay. She's been streaming and doing what she does because her schedule is a little cray cray right now. Gotcha. Next Thursday's the third. Thanks, Gail. All right, so this is just the pink and green. It gives a much nicer presentation on a, hey, zippity. It gives a much nicer presentation on a clean piece of release paper. But this is a smaller size, and I cut it like in, well, I cut 2 3-inch pieces. This is a 6x8. And of course, you can see the holes for kids to put it in a binder, and they can put stickers on each side, right? Yeah, save the backing from your stickers. And if you have a sticker sheet or like labels, like Avery labels, all that kind of stuff is great. And of course, I got that tip from Peggy, which is just been one of the best tips ever, really, for this stuff. Okay, so then I started out with doing this. I just don't know what to call it. Maybe aged tape. So we did a couple of different colors here: ginger, latte, butterscotch, and caramel. Then this was Vale's suggestion, some purples and blue. We did purple and green, I think. There's purple and green here, and I added some gold on this one. But see, this gold didn't give me the kind of lines that I like. This, while the alcohol ink was a little damp, I took my pokey tool and just um, pulled that down to make that kind of a look. And then these two. So I'm just going to take the time because I have the little strips pre-cut here. Some of them are smaller. Some of them are 3 inches and some of them I think are 2. Because the paper was, oh, that's more, that's already done. Doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. So let's put this on. Now you can leave the end off and it's easier to grab, but then they were sticking to everything for me. So, see, it pulls off really nice. We'll do a couple on this sheet. And you can see it without the mess of, the working page. So these release papers, I'm just using these to work on the tape with. So I'm not wasting my release paper all the time. And messing and yucking it up. Just yucking it up. Let's see. Let me see if I can grab. Yeah, I got the end of that one. This one has a pearl on the edge. Okay, sweetie. I'll check in later, either today or tomorrow. See how you're doing. What the doc has to say. All right. Then let's get another piece. This is our grunge. I'm well pleased with how this turned out. This looks pretty cool. That I put the gold on. And this one is another grunge I think turned out pretty well. Nothing like admiring your own work. Whoop, 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 whoop. See, don't they look much better on a nice, clean, fresh piece of release paper? It still has some tape on it. Let's do this one. Now, this one was our original grunge, mostly browns and caramels and such. And then Teresa suggested a little blue on this one. So we added a little blue on the end, which really looks pretty. Cool, right? Oh, thanks, Cal. That's a nice compliment. Thank you. So then we have the age tape that I just did a stamp on. A script stamp. Now this should be dry. Let's just hope it is. Maybe I'll just sit that down gently and not. I don't want to smear that. I'm not sure that that's totally dry yet. Yeah, it might be. Might be. I got it crooked, as you see. Got it crooked. Thanks, Debbie. Let's put this other one on. Now you don't have to use, oh, this is where I had the wide tape and didn't realize. You don't have to use the whole, this one didn't turn out as well. Got a little funky in the middle. But you know what? You could put a bird on that, right, Kel? You could just put a bird right on that. It will look great. Then we did these other ones where I put tape, paper tape down, and then I put cellophane tape on top. And then we just did just the paper tape, which is definitely a different look. But this orange one here, orange and red, I think turned out fabulous. So let's see if I can grab this. I love color. Don't you just love color? Look at how cool that looks. It almost looks like a trumpet blowing out color. Yes, that is another fun technique for sure. Did everybody get what Peggy said there? You can take a book page and put just your cellophane tape on and then pull it back off and then glue that down on a journal page or mixed media. And that looks really cool too. Peggy, did you see I sent you a couple of Instagram messages? I'm wondering if you had some time to chat a little later. And then this is the paper tape with packing tape on top. And this is just the paper tape. So, I mean, I think that, hey, Anne-Marie, how you doing? Nice to see you. We're just getting ready to skedaddle. Oh, you know what I didn't try? I didn't try this treated tape with the clear gesso. I don't think that's going to do anything. Let's just strip something on here and see. I think this is going to kind of stay. Gail said, well, at least using release paper is sure a lot cheaper than what, yeah, Yupo paper is pricey, right? Yeah. Oh, it moves a little more than I anticipated it would. Huh. Now, to be totally honest and transparent. Okay, great. All right, Peggy. Thank you. It moves a little bit more than I thought it would. I put down matte medium first, which is for, I don't buy the glossy, I buy the matte finish. And I just didn't think it would move at all. So then this morning, I put clear gesso on it. And so it does move a little bit better than just the plain paper tape. But of course, it doesn't move a whole lot. Where's that? Let's put a little indigo on here. I mean, like with a lot of what we do, right, girls? You just try stuff and see what you like best. This is stonewashed. I don't know what this is really kind of like. Let's just see. Oh, this is more of like a true blue. Almost like a denim, I guess you kind of could say. But you see, I could just do this for hours, right? I mean, it's just cool. It's just cool. It's fun. It's very creative. Of course, I don't, at least. There may be ways to have control of what this does and how it moves. But if there is, I don't know it because, I don't know what I'm doing. Yes, that definitely does. This is just straight up alcohol. Now, Deb said there's a blending solution. I'm going to check that out. And it helps your ink, helps you move your ink, but it also extends your drying time, which could be helpful if you're trying to move it a certain way. Now, see, that's kind of cool. This is just the paper tape. Now, this, I'm going to have to try this on maybe. Yeah, does he have an ink blower? This is all I have. And maybe if you had a dryer with a cool setting, maybe. Now, see, I think this one will look cool with some gold on it. So let's do, huh? See, I was going to get going, and here I am messing around some more. It just doesn't drip very well. I should empty out an alcohol ink Ranger bottle and transfer this over. I think I like the gold better when you I have one of those air sucker blower thingies. Oh, you do, Kel? Send me a picture if you don't mind. I'd like to see what that looks like. Uh-oh, wait a minute. I hit something with my mouse and now it's asking me if I want to leave. No, I'm not ready yet. Where do I still have some? Yeah, I still have some alcohol here. Adding some alcohol to that gold. Kind of like that. See how you can get those lines? Gosh, I love that. Anywho, you definitely get the idea, right? So if you have any alcohol inks, even if they're not some of these colors that I've used today, get them out and use them. Because when you start layering them and putting them on top of each other and they mix in with each other, you get different looks and stuff. It's just really kind of fun. It's really, really kind of fun. Let's see. Oh, Amarit just sent me a picture. Let's see if I can. Now, this is the brown tape with the packing tape on top. So that's not a bad look, and then if you had some kind of I straightened up my desk so I didn't, what, I was going to scrape some of this ink. See, I didn't do that either. Is everybody in a hurry? Maybe I'll do that real quick. See this, I can't stop. Um, I don't know that I have a little cutout image, but you can glue stuff on top. Let's see what Amaret sent me. Hold on. Hold on, kids. Hold on. You girls are on the ball. Oh, okay. So it just looks like a big booger. I didn't know he had that. Alcohol ink blower. Of course he would. There you go. Well, thank you for enabling me. Thanks, Amaret. That is cool. Oh yeah. That'd be this works okay, but this thing really is annoying, gets in the way. Honestly, if I'm just being honest, I like being honest. All right, let me get another. What did I say I was going to do? See, now I'm chatting away and I forgot what I was going to try. What did I say? Cal, help me, baby, help me. Gail. All right, let's see. Oh, here's a wide. There's a wide, two narrows, and a wide on this one. Just Google that name and you'll surely find. Thank you, sweetie. Yes, I will do that for sure. Thanks, Deb. Amaret already got me a picture. How about it? Had no idea. Have to leave. Okay, Gail's going to get her groceries. Thanks, Gail, for coming in. Have a great day. All right, let my brain work. I wanted to try something. Does anybody remember what I said I wanted to try? Oh, scraping it. I wanted to scrape it. Okay, so let's do that. Or it doesn't matter. Okay, so there's no tape here. A big packing tape here, and I've got a little skinny one here. I'm going to flip it this way. Oh, Kel sent me a picture too. Okay, let's see what she's got. Maybe she's got the same thing. Kellyanne. Yep, that's what Kel's got. How about it, Kel? You're all set. You're all set. Nice. Nice. All right, so I'm going to drip couple of different colors just on the end. And then I'm going to take, because I have it right here, a messy old like gift card. And I'm just going to and see how that looks. Where can you send a picture? You can, I'm on Instagram. If you send it there, Instagram Pink Girly would be good. Or if you're on Facebook, you can find me, I think, under Pink Girly there as well. Or it's Lori Delp, DELP. My maiden name's in the middle, but it should come up. Thanks, Peggy. All right, so Let's pick 3 colors. Let's see. Let's get this Jasmaraz out of the way. All right. So let's do that hot pink, which was raspberry. Let's pick colors that kind of work together. All right. So I'm going to do the hot pink. I like this Valencia. Let's do a Valencia. And let's do pink and blue make purple. Oh, let's try the mermaid. I didn't do any mermaid today. If I can find her. Oh, she's kind of dark. She's a little dark. I should have been prepared and had them all unlit. Oh, see, look. Oh, no, 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 no. No, no, no. Oh, my. Oh, my. Wait a minute. I've got tape over here. See, I don't even want to waste that. Isn't that crazy of me? Should I scrape it again? That's cool. Now, if I let that dry and then put on a couple other colors and scrape it, I wonder what it would be like. I don't want to hit it with the air because it'll. Now, see the tape? Do I have tape there? Yeah. There's a skinny tape right close next to that. And then this, I have no tape there. Hold on, let's put something else here. What goes good with those colors? What would stand out? Let's try a dark purple. Purple twilight. I'm going to try to just use the corner of the card. That didn't do so much, did it? So maybe if the color is underneath, it's not going to do that much. See, now I've got plain tape over here. I could have put another color there. Let's do green. That's citrus. What else have we got? Lettuce. Lunchtime. Let's do lettuce. Let us do lettuce. Oh, this is not what I would call lettuce. Okay. Oh, that's kind of like a sage green. Oh, that's nice. That's a nice green. I love me some green, girls. I love me some green. Let's add a little more. I didn't get as messy as I thought I would. Scraping it. You had to. You did, Amaret. You are so cute. That's a Kelly word. That's a Kellyanne word, I should say. She doesn't like Kelly. I like. I shorten everybody's name, which I shouldn't do. I didn't like it when people did it to me, and I do it to other people all the time. But she's Kellyanne or Kel, and I know that. I know that. All right, let's see. Let me get a little piece of. I try to call. I like to call people what they want to be called. All right, let's see if I can clean this up a little bit here. Now I'll be adding something else to these too, because I mean it looks neat, but I don't know that I would. I think that needs more. I don't know if it's really a word though. Did you find it? Did you find Kewl? See, I usually do COOL. So really, okay. Here's a language lesson, I think, from an uneducated person. Cool, like Cool Whip, or it's cool outside, or it's cool to the touch, is COOL. And cool, you really emphasize the K. It's like cool, like neato, like jazzy, like super fine, that kind of a thing. Yeah, hip. It's a, yeah, Kellyanne's hip. Ah. All right, Deb sent me a picture. Hold on. She founded me. She founded me. Uh-oh. Send image in Messenger. Request her. Okay, wait a minute. Let me go to Messenger. Messenger. Nope, that is Messenger. Why isn't it not? It's not opening. Oh, I have to accept it. I'm so sorry. Oh. Were you doing this while I was doing this, or this is what you've done before? Oh, wow. Look at hers. Deb, they're cool and cool. Oh, thanks for sharing these. How yummy are these? Huh? From a long time ago. See? I see nothing new under the sun. It's just new to me. Oh, Debbie, there are Debbie, see? Deb, they are terrific. Oh, thank you. How nice. See, girls? Get after it, huh? And then the next step will be to see you use them in a project, or, like I was doing this little board book. I got to put more pictures in here because I really like the way that turned out. So I got to get some of my other digitals I printed, get them on these pages, and maybe finish up this little book. I need a back. See, I painted it, but yeah, I got to get going. I got to get going on some of this stuff. So cool is right. They are yummy. Thanks. Very nice, Deb. Very nice indeed. All right, I'm really going to go now. Okay. Thanks for hanging in there with me. So there's things to do this afternoon. Um, you know, I have to say, um, what's the rooster? Wendy. What does she call herself? Some rooster. The painted rooster. Oh, geez, I'm terrible. Wait a minute. She sent me a, let me see, I think I probably already missed, I forget what she calls herself. Isn't that terrible? But I already looked at her message. It might be the papered rooster. I think that might be it. She's got a sale going on. She started at noon. She's got some really cool stuff. So you might want to check her out. Yeah. Thanks, Deb. And thanks, Kel. Yeah. So you might want to check her out. And there are things to do, right? So just have a good afternoon. Stay warm. And if you're out and about, don't be slipping around, okay? And falling and doing any of that jazz. Don't be doing that jazz. It's just if it's still snowy and icy in your area, just stay in. Just stay in, okay? And don't forget, take time to be creative. Enjoy the journey. And until next time, goodbye for now, my dear art buddies.